The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 16. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of courageous women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Want to learn how you can change your inner beliefs and attitudes? Download a free copy of the ebook by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of phenomenal women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and today I have a special guest here today. I actually met her for the first time in person in Florida. I mean, we met through the internet, through a company that we were involved. And, you know, this woman, every time I see her, she's always the most positive person I've ever met, always just sharing, you know, good stuff on Facebook. And even when you meet her in person, you know, it's like she has this like ray of sunshine around her because, you know, she just likes to be positive and spread that message around. And that's the kind of things that I love sharing on the podcast, right? Women who have a really good positive message, women who can spread the love around. And today you'll get to hear her story, right? She's currently in Seattle, which is probably on the west side, right? I think. But I'm going to introduce you to her. She's a dear friend. Her name is Melanie Lay. And Melanie, maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Sheena. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today. I'm really grateful, and thank you to you for inviting me. So for those who don't know me, my name is Melanie Lee, and I currently live in Seattle, Washington. I grew up in Seattle, but I was actually born in Vietnam. I was born on actually September 12th during the Vietnam War. I'm the third of 7 brothers and sisters of hardworking immigrant parents. When I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of growing up, but we made do of what we had. And coming from a big family with my parents barely speaking English and having minimal financial resources, we did whatever it took to just survive. We were not, well off by any means. We were just your, average, I would say close to low to middle class family. And there were many nights where at dinner, we would literally eat the same thing for days on end, like rice and soy sauce, which was my favorite. And if we were lucky, we had Spam. I don't know if you're familiar with Spam. It's the popular Hawaiian meat, Sheena.
Oh, yeah. We love our Spam, too, in the Philippines. It's funny you said how you, ate the same thing every single day, because my dad would take us to Burger King a lot, and he would just buy the Whopper, right? Because he would have these 99-cent coupons that he would clip every single time. And, I wouldn't be able to get anything else but a Whopper. just because it was 99 cents.
Right? That's awesome. I mean, you have to just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. It builds character. Yeah. So if we were lucky, we had Spam with rice and soy sauce. Believe me, as kids, you don't even know any better. And I thought that was like best dinner ever because it tasted so good to me, at least. And so anyhow, getting back to my background, we didn't have much growing up. All the clothes we owned were recycled clothes or hand-me-downs from local thrift shops. So growing up with my siblings and my parents and stuff, I spent a lot of time with my brothers and sisters, and it was really, really adventurous. And, we had really good times. Although we didn't have this state-of-the-art toys or anything, we just, like I said, did the best that we can, and we used our imagination and found ways to entertain ourselves. And it worked just fine. I wouldn't have changed the thing because I think just through using our imagination, it allowed all of us to flourish in our own individual, unique ways in our lives. And I found that seeing how hard my parents struggled to make ends meet, to put food on the table and clothes on our back, it just made me appreciate them all so much more. And it also made me saw the value and importance of hard work and the value of a hard-earned dollar. And I never, ever took any of that for granted. And so for that, I appreciate my parents so much for the sacrifice and struggles they had to go through and endure to get us safely to America during the Vietnam War. We had to flee Vietnam to spare our lives because of the war. And And they sacrificed so much to get us all here safely and provide us a better life. And I'm really grateful for that.
Coming to America from the Vietnam War, I'm sure that was probably quite an ordeal in your lifetime. I want to ask you a couple of questions. So what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
I have so many, Sheena, and one of the ones that really stick out to me is, don't change yourself so that other people will like you. Be yourself so that the right people will love you. When you start seeing your worth, you'll find it harder to stay around people who don't. Behind every successful woman is herself. Don't be afraid to give up the good to acquire the great. Believe that you do make a difference in this world because you are extraordinary.
In your own words, what would be your definition of self-confidence?
My definition of self-confidence is someone who's living in their true, definite purpose. Someone who speaks her truth with honor, integrity, conviction, and love. Less righteousness, kindness, and compassion. Someone who just resonates kindness and confidence throughout her spirit, and people who walk around, they can feel and sense that with her. And I say her because we're speaking, directly to women.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I see that in you, right? Every time I see you, there's like this ray of light or sunshine or something, right? Because, every time I see you, you're always so smiley, you're always so kind, and you treat everyone the same kindness, right? And I think that's why a lot of people resonate with you, right? Because you don't judge, you are who you are. And it's a great feeling, to just even talk to you like one-on-one like this, right? So I'm pretty sure your life before, what was it like before you had self-confidence or you discovered your own self-confidence?
Wow, this is a great question, because before I discovered self-confidence, I was that girl that was very insecure. I had very low self-esteem. I always looked to others for approval, and I was your avid people pleaser. And anybody who knows what I'm talking about when I say people pleasers, I always sought out the opinions of others before my own. I didn't trust myself, and I didn't trust the decisions that I made, and I lived in utter fear of what others thought of me. And I just wanted to be liked, and I never wanted to ruffle any feathers. I just kind of rolled with the punches and just agreed with everybody. Even though I didn't agree with them, I just did it just to get along. And I realized that's not how I want to live. That was me before I discovered self-confidence.
I think many women can relate to that. I mean, I know I can, right? I mean, it's, your family tells you don't do anything crazy, just do what you're told, be the good girl, right? Mm-hmm. We're always told to be the good girl, which is not to make any noise. And sometimes they have this, most people have this impression that Asian women are quiet, submissive, they don't really do anything. And I think it's time we have to stop having that notion, right? And, this is why I love doing these podcasts, because then I can prove to people that, we're not like that. We do have a personality. We have things that we want in our life. We're going to go out there and get it. This was something that I really did not like when people, had this perception of an Asian woman. So, Mel, what was like your aha moment when you realized, you started believing in yourself and you can do anything that you wanted to do in life?
My aha moment was I realized I do have a voice. I am worthy of being heard. I am valued, and my opinion matters. I realized that we all, men and women, are so powerful beyond our belief. We don't realize that it is our birthright to have a voice and to be able to use that voice to help and empower others who don't have one. And I feel like sometimes in our lives, things have to be completely shaken up, changed and rearranged, and just kind of relocate us to the place we were meant to be. And I think with my childhood and how what I went through, it kind of formed and molded me to the person that I am today, here speaking with you and talking about self-confidence and empowering young women. And because we live in a society in a competitive world, where we measure success by what we look like, what you own, who you know, how much money you have, how big your car is, etc. And in reality, all these material distractions, all this, false illusions of who you should be, is exactly what it is, a big distraction from who you truly are. And that is, self-love. And I feel like the only competition that matters is the one in which you compete with yourself and not with other people. Because a lot of people, oftentimes, they get so caught up in competing with other people that they lose sight of what really matters. And that's kindness and love and living an authentic life and living your true purpose. And when I found my aha moment, I realized that, I needed to spread the word and help as many people as I can awaken to their inner power, so to speak.
We have been programmed to measure success through the things that we have, and that can be a bad thing because then so many people try to keep up with the Joneses, and then, they end up being in debt. They end up pretty much ruining their own lives because, society just keeps telling us, if you have the big car, the big house, the trinkets, that's what success is. And really, success is just being able to live life on your own terms, without having all those things, right? It can be just you spending more time with your family or you just traveling the world wherever you want to go, right? That's what success really is. It has to be defined in your own terms and not the terms of others. So Absolutely. I really love what you shared, Melanie, because sometimes we do get this pressure to always have the house, the car, the white picket fences. And if that's not something we want, then, why go crazy over it, right? Be able to have the things that you truly want in life and go out and get it. So Melanie, after you found out you started believing in yourself, you had the power to change your life, you made the decision to do that. What's your life like now after that discovery?
My life now after the discovery has been extraordinary. I feel like it's so cathartic. I feel like I just had a release of just unnecessary pressure and stress on my back. Everything just kind of fell to the wayside. Because it took a lot of courage for me to stop caring about what everyone thought of me, like we were talking earlier before the show, no matter what we do or say, when you are out there in the public eye or when you put yourself out there, you're going to be judged. It's just life. This is life. And this is a society that we live in. Whether you like it or not, you will be judged for one thing or another. So you might as well pull up your big girl panties and strap on and get ready for this ride called life, because you have to have thick skin, living in today's society, because regardless of kind of work that you do, what you put out there, whether good or whatever, what people think, you're going to be judged one way or the other. So I say to those, just do the best that you can, put out good, positive energy and, put out, good work that can transform other people's lives, and let the universe do the rest, because that's all you can do is the best that you can. And there's no shame in living your authentic life. It doesn't matter, where you come from or what your past or current circumstances are. And whatever misfortune you may have suffered along the way, I feel like it all comes down to your actions and your thoughts that ultimately defines your future. Just remember, you are so much bigger than your circumstances. And we all have our own unique stories, and we have to remind ourselves that our past does not dictate and define our future.
To the person who's listening to this, right, to the woman who's probably listening to this episode, to this interview, what's that one piece of advice you would give her in her inner journey to self-confidence?
Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. Know your worth, even if they don't. Always dream big, work hard, stay humble, and refuse to be average. And don't let other people's inability to see their own self-worth derail you from living your best life.
Thank you. That's great advice, right? Be yourself. Always stay humble. That's something that most people kind of forget. Humility, right? Especially in this crazy online world sometimes, right? Sometimes the ego can get in the way. So always remember to stay humble, right? Humility is such a big part of your life that you need to practice, to learn from, because people will resonate a lot with you more when you have humility, when you're humble, when the ego doesn't get in the way. So Melanie, I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this interview. I know a lot of women out there can resonate with your story. And, now that you've shared what you've had to go through, they can start seeing the possibilities in themselves. And that's one of the reasons why, I wanted to bring you here, because I know you have an amazing story. You have great things you've already overcome. And now you're living the life that you want. I see you traveling in places like Vegas, Vietnam, just, enjoying life to the fullest without having to have anyone care what you do. So thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you so much for having me here, Sheena.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. And if there's anyone who'd like to contact you or, lock arms with you, what's the best way they can contact you, or, if you have any website to share?
They can contact me on my personal website, melanielee.com and or www.superaffiliatepowers.com. And Super Affiliate Powers is one of the websites that I'm promoting. It's an online university for internet marketers or serious marketers who are looking to take their business to another level. And you ask, what is a super affiliate? And it's the best affiliates in the industry, the top 1%. They are people who know how to run profitable campaigns like the back of their hands, and their bank accounts proves it. And for those who are ready to step up their game and take their business to like the next level, then I highly recommend visiting my website, www.superaffiliatespowers.com. So that's SUPERAFFILIATE powers with an S at the end, POWERS.com. You'll learn the most current and up-to-date advanced high-end traffic and conversion training courses amongst you. And it's just an amazing online platform to teach you how to drive targeted traffic to your business and see conversions and ultimately sales. So again, this is for people who are serious about taking their small business to the next level, or even if you're a network marketer trying to build a team or want to be the top producer in your industry, and or people who are promoting their own personal products. This is a great platform for you to come look at and check it out. And my hopes is that it will help you grow your business and take it to the next level.
Thanks for sharing that, Mel. So if you guys want to connect with her, you can also head over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Melanie's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I want to thank you, Melanie, for sharing your journey with us. And to all the listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode, and we will catch you later. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetaoofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about today, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more. Subscribe to the Tao of Self-Confidence on iTunes or Stitcher to hear more stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence.